So let's fast forward up to 1981. Kobayashi Sensei founded Seidokan Aikido in February of that year. And that gave him the license to really start exploring different variations. And so within a year or two, we weren't doing Saiyu anymore. We had the 3 Enkei movements, Enkei Nage Undo, Enkei Choyaku Undo, and Enkei Saiyu Undo. Let's work on that last one. So again, Katate Dori, and we're standing here. Now, what's the most efficient thing? One of the things that Kobayashi Sensei really wanted to do is work with the fundamental poems, Doka, of O-sensei. So one of these was the Hitoashi Yokate poem. When an enemy comes running to strike, take one step aside and cut immediately. So taking one step aside minimally is 90 degrees. 75 degrees is not off. Anything beyond that is still off, but one step aside. Notice I'm well in front of him now. So now, if I dip the circle, look what happens. So now, he was looking at this kind of Enkei as the most efficient way to do this circle. And efficiency is good in many respects. When we had that big movement, there was a lot of power. People are flying all over. People could get injured. Also, if it didn't work, you're in an awkward position. If this doesn't work, oops, then I just do it again. So I drop my center and drop my center. Again, one more time. So I'm looking at him, off the line, dip, down. When we do this in motion, it just becomes a little swirl of the arm as we come across. So, and it looks like nothing. What is that silly little exercise? Remember, it's a small circle, but inside every small circle, Kobayashi Sensei would say, there's a large circle. Outside every small circle is a large circle. That's your spiritual circle. So as he's coming, I'm joining with him spiritually. He's already included. So I can make a small circle and take away a circle. That's the end. Shall we try? Okay, great. So that's the modern Enkei. What are some of the advantages of that? Again, he's coming to grab. If this is great, if turning, 180 is great here. But what if he had grabbed with the other hand? He would have been open. By taking only a half step when he grabs with the wrong hand, he easily corrected. Because as he comes to grab you, oh, I see. We just do the same Enkei with a hip turn, and we have Ikkyo. But if you're in the habit of coming here, you've exposed yourself. If so, he comes the same with the same hand. I can accelerate it. And look, I can drop the elbow. This is a very efficient way to throw. Why? Well, let's say he punches now. Down, down, and drop the elbow. Other side, how about Shomanuchi? Down, down. Anytime I can get to the outside, Yoko Manuchi. Down, down. I have Enkei. And we go back to Munetsuki. Realize your Kote Gaishi is just an Enkei with a little twist of feet. Right? So those are really fundamental and useful things. Remember when I was showing there was an Enkei Saiyu Choyaku. Well, let's see what happens if he pulls, and I try to do that. Pull. It's very difficult. Very difficult. Whereas when he pulls and I dip and drop, the Enkei works very well. So this is another one. This was developed for when he pulls. Dip. Small circle. If we go slowly, he pulls. I dip. Now what if I came up? He's going away from me. Or he's blocking me. I'll never catch up. But as he pulls and I dip, keep it small. Works very nice. So shall we try katate hikiose? That's the same side wrist grab pull. And this is the Enkei Nage movement. Right. So a foundation of all Aikido movements is the circle. We call it En no Hongi, or the principle of circular motion, the spiritual circle. And in Seidokan Aikido, we work with that a lot by remembering that every circle has a center. So don't try to do things, it comes from the center. And that a small circle generates a small force. So you can control it better. If you need more force, you can generate more force, right? But start small. But small physical circle should have a large spiritual circle. So that's what we call shodo seisu. So that when he's coming to grab him, he's already part of my circle, so I can direct him smoothly. If we're not in the same circle, there'll be a clash. So look for that in your daily life.